Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 14, and as so often has been the case in recent times, we're back in the mid-menu match as we've got an interesting innings to show you. Hopefully it can be one where we're a hero and we can lead our Leeds side to victory. As you can probably see in the background from the all-whites, aside from the helmet of course, it is a 3-day game we're back for, just after the T21 last time out. If you haven't seen any of the series so far, please do go back and check it out. A massive thank you to everyone that's given it a try. I really do appreciate the support with it. If you're new to the channel and enjoying the content, please do put a thumbs up on the video and subscribe for regular content from this series as well as Football Manager content. But let's go and have a look at the scorecard to see where we come back for this one. It's certainly an interesting point in the game as we go into our second innings. We were batting second and the game's in a good position. Leeds trail by 96 as the second inning starts. We're just about coming up to lunchtime on day 3, so we've got plenty of time to get the runs on the board, and the question is, as the opener, can we see out the game with an unbeaten knock? Our average has just gone above 30, and the one problem we've had every time in this series is we've not yet had a not out innings, so maybe we can do that today. In the first innings we did quite well with the ball. We caught a player according to the match stats there. Of course we simulate when we're not batting or bowling, so unfortunately we can't take the credit for that. We bowled 6 overs as a part-time spinner, conceded just 4 runs at a ridiculous economy. As the problems continue with the ball, it's something I've mentioned is one of my only drawbacks in this series. One of my few little issues with the game, which has otherwise been brilliant and immersive, so hopefully that'll get resolved as time goes on, but it doesn't have too much of an impact while we're only a part-time spinner. The other big news since the last episode, when you finished that T20 game with me last time out, we came back and got a message from our agent or manager to say that we were starting to get some interest from county teams, and lo and behold we went to the selection status after and we changed from no chance to long way off. So still a bit of distance to go. We're not even captaining our club side yet, but that certainly is a good sign going forward because we want to be in control of how much we bowl, and more importantly we want to play with players we recognise. So only a few overs with the ball in the first innings, and then with the bat again it was a start that we didn't push on from. 30 off 38 deliveries, and we got out in a silly way yet again. We're not going to reflect on that too much though, as for once the middle order came to the rescue. A few decent scores and a ridiculous 153 from Oscar O'Keefe, almost at 1 a ball as well, has put this Leeds side into a winning position as we bowled them out for 119. The second innings contained 4 ducks for Sunderland, and we didn't even have to have a bowl. They were all out in 32 overs, with the front line attack doing their job perfectly. So we come in with Nathan Crompton now, needing 96 in about 5 hours. I really hope we can stay into the end, and we're not going to be rushing our way through this innings. So we'll probably avoid showing you all of the leaves and defensive shots as we did in the first couple of episodes of the season, but I want to show you a few run scoring shots and just to try and stay not out for this innings. So perhaps not our most flamboyant and entertaining one in contrast to how we were playing in the T20, but I really want to get this one over the line as this is an important part of emulating Alistair Cook. So we'll be back for our run scoring chances, and of course we'll show you the first ball as always, so we'll be back for that in a moment to make sure we can avoid it all ending in disaster. First ball of the innings then as promised, and can we make sure we avoid getting out, is the left arm seamer that have caused us a bit of trouble in time, but this one straight on the stumps and we can get that away to our favoured leg side position, and he's going to beat the fielder for a boundary. I wasn't expecting that much success with the first ball. I thought it was just going to be a token gesture, defending or nudging it for a single, but that one rushes away for 4. What a flamboyant start to the innings. I wouldn't expect that to carry on for too long, but we won't complain if we have a few of those. Can we follow it up with another then? Hopefully the bowler will lose a bit of confidence from that. Again he's bowled it on the stump, so we'll go for the same shot again. We've beaten the infielder. Are we going to beat the man on the boundary? He's just about got it back and he manages to cut it off for 2. A good bit of fielding, but we move on to 6. This has been a dream start to the innings. They're bowling to our strength, which really helps us, and long may that continue. Third ball then, if he could serve us up the same again, we'd be happy. It's another full one, you know, and we haven't got quite as much on that. It is going to be cut off for just a single, but 7 off the first half and over, and we passed a strike over to Crompton. A brilliant start, all of the balls exactly where we wanted them on the pads, and we're just able to flick them away to our favourite position on the leg side, and it's 3-run scoring shots to start. We've got to the second over, and Crompton's seen off 3 dot balls. Now we've got another seam bowler in the attack. Is he a right-hander or is he a lefty? I can't really tell from that position. He's got it in his left as well, so it's the same thing twice, and I thought that was on the stumps, but it's just drawn away at the last moment. It narrowly misses off stump, and we could have had a scare there. That could have been a disastrous ending. We've got to be a little bit careful here, make sure we keep our discipline. Even though that one goes straight to the fielder, we're happy just to play a confident stroke. So this is where it could all go wrong for us. We do get a little carried away at times, so I just want to make sure we see out this over before we come back for the more flamboyant attempts. Let's see where this ball's delivered on the stumps and we get it away, but it goes straight to the infielder again, and it's just going to be a dot ball as we cancel that run very quickly. 1.5 overs gone and we've added 7 runs already. There's certainly no need for us to panic, but we still like to get run scoring shots away. This one's outside off stump, so we defend. It's not wide enough that I was confident to leave it. Completely off topic, but if you're enjoying the Ashes, let me know what your favourite moment's been so far. I'm recording this a few days in advance, so it's actually only the end of day 1 as I'm saying this, and as I'm recording this episode, Australia have just scraped their way to past 250, with Steve Smith getting a brilliant 144, and England have survived the first couple of overs of the day, so it's all good signs for the home side. Hopefully England can do well in that, but obviously there's a bit of a scare with Jimmy Anderson. But since then news could have changed, of course, as we defend the final ball of the second over. Certainly not the start I was envisaging. We're going at more than 1 a ball. That one we are just going to leave though. 11 off 10 after 3.1 overs. Crompton's got 6 himself, and if we can keep that wickets column down to 0, that would really start to fill me with confidence. Again, there's space on the leg side as soon as we get that delivery, but for now we're just seeing balls through to the keeper, and we'll come back when we get a good one. Final ball of the over for Pennington. I'm not quite sure what's happening with him. Look at his stamina bar down the bottom there. It's 4 balls in a row that we've left, but he's almost out of puff after 2 overs. Maybe he was in with the bat for a little while. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember the names on the Sunderland sheet, but it just seems a bit strange this early on. We're facing a spinner now, so this is where it could all go wrong. We've got to be defensive outside off stump and only play balls we're certain of on the leg side. Even if Crompton becomes the aggressor in the partnership, that doesn't matter as long as we stay in. The first ball's just gone through to the keeper. If he keeps bowling that wide, we'll have no problems. Second ball for Alex. He continues to come around the wicket. Where's he bowled this one outside off stump? It's a little bit narrower, so it's easy to get the bat to, and there's a vacant space down at mid-off, so we just go straight through for 4. It's a fantastic drive, and that extra batting ability point we spent is really going to be worthwhile. A fantastic shot, and now they've plugged the gap, so we're going to have to go back to being a bit more tentative. We wouldn't take the risk down to 3rd man in the long form of the game. We'll just leave the balls through to the keeper, and we're happy to do this as long as we need. We've got a long time to get our few runs. They've opened the gap up again at mid-off. Is he going to try and tempt us with this one? It's very wide and we almost played at it. We just pulled out at the very last second. They've plugged the gap again despite us not attacking it. Maybe it was just the threat that worried them. So there's space to the leg side if he gives us the right ball, but we see it through to the keeper, and at the end of the 6th over with 1 to go, it looks like we're going along quite nicely. 15 off 20 and Crompton's on 8, and we've already got 23 of the runs required. That one's a more defensive shot, but in the end it beats the fielder again. We didn't try to put too much on that. We played it as a controlled stroke, and I think it might even reach the boundary. We've got 4 runs off a forward defensive. I couldn't ask much more at this stage of the game. 19 runs off 21 balls. This has been a fantastic, confident knock. Alex the spinner coming over the wicket now. This should suit us as we just flick away runs to the leg side. We've said it's our favourite shot before. I know occasionally it's been a bit repetitive, but it just shows how poor some of the club cricket bowling is. They bowl on line and length and just play to our strengths, and although they've plugged the gaps occasionally, again they've left us plenty of space there. We get a 4 to our favourite part of the ground. When is the Sunderland skipper going to learn? Alex is going pretty expensively now, and we move on to 23 and a strike rate of above 100. 100. Again a delivery to the leg side. This time we've picked out the fielder in the deep, so just one rather than a boundary on this occasion, but Leeds moving on nicely to 33. We'll let Crompton have a bit of the strike, as we're now going to face a left arm spinner. He's been very defensive now, Crompton. 8 runs off 26 deliveries. That's one we need to defend from the spinner. The left arm spinners have been a bit more difficult to face, particularly when they're coming over the wicket like that. We've often edged them through to the keeper. It's the second ball of the over for Peach, and we're waiting for something we can go for the leg side on. This is the one, and it looks like we're going to run through a single. They're appealing, but we certainly got an inside edge on that, so there's no need for them to go up and get excited. The umpire will surely shake his head here, and Nathan Crompton regains the strike. 9 overs gone, and we're back to our favourite bowler Alex, and he's left us that space on the leg side again. We're going to attack it, but this time we don't beat the fielder. Just a single to start the 10th over. Leeds move on to 35 for 1. Doherty's joined us at the crease as Crompton's lost his wicket again. He's been in a poor bit of form recently, and that's something that concerns us. We need our batting partner to help us out. This one's on leg stump again, and that one may well reach the boundary. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to cut that off. It's another fantastic 4. And we're just about halfway to our target now. 45 down and 51 to go. They still haven't plugged that gap on the leg side, and we're just waiting and picking them off. It seems like they keep bowling to our strengths, and I can see why they're losing this game. Either the Sunderland skipper wants me to do well, or there's something a little bit flawed here. Why do they keep bowling to our favourite place, and why are they not plugging the gap when we keep scoring 4s? It doesn't seem like they're learning. This one's an awful wide. Even in 3-day long form cricket, the umpire should give that, but remarkably the bowler gets away with it. And Alex himself is just as guilty. He continues to come over the wicket, and that one's going to be yet another 4. This is getting a little bit too easy now. We're on pro difficulty, and they're bowling up beauties for us, right in our favourite spot. And I know this might be a bit repetitive, but we're being bowled the same ball over and over again. With 38 off 30 in a long form game, this is not what we expected at the start of this innings. We pick out the fielder on this occasion, and with 11.5 overs gone, we've got 59 and require just 37. It looks like we're going to win this game at a canter. It's just about whether we're there at the end. We mistimed the next ball slightly, but it's gone past the man on the other side, and it goes to the deep mid-wicket region for 4, and we're moving along nicely. It looks like we're going to get a half century. A fantastic over so far. 2 balls left to go, and the spinner's going at about 10 and over, something that should confirm him in this form. We've got another one away. It's so easy. I don't know what to say here. Have any of you experienced anything like this? They keep giving us the same ball, albeit at different lengths, but it's exactly the same line. It looks like he's changing his run up here, so that might help us out, and that one's just outside off stump, so we're forced to defend the final ball. But I really can't make out what's happened there. It seems a little bit repetitive, but it's got to be flawed because we keep getting the same ball as we go and see a highlight of one of our 4s. Plenty of boundaries and a far more attacking innings than I expected, but I'm not sure why they're not plugging our favourite gap. We've scored plenty of 4s there already in this innings. When are they going to learn and stop us from doing so? It must be the lunch break with these highlights coming, so we'll be back in a moment at the start of the next session. It is lunch now, 1:20 in the afternoon. We're not far away from our total now. The disappointment, of course, was Crompton getting out for 8, but this graphic shows you just how bad Alex the spinner was there. We were going at about 1 a ball after 25 runs, and now we're on 46 off 34. He just kept serving us the same delivery, and we had 3 or 4 identical boundaries, something I didn't expect in this innings. I thought they'd at least make it difficult for us, try to set more aggressive fields, but in the end they've just laid over and let us win. And with 70 overs to go, we only require 26 runs. We want to stay into the left arm spinner. I don't really care what our strike rate is at this point. The most important part for me is that we're here at the end of the innings, and although it's a standard medium pitch, I think that might be a glitch. We keep getting the notification to say that it is a standard medium pitch, but all of them have continued to play differently. We've not edged that, have we? We played a defensive shot, and we've got ourselves out again. It's just before the half century, and Sunderland have the last laugh. The left arm spinner gets us again. We defend and remarkably edge it through to the keeper, losing concentration, talking off topic, and it's ended up costing us our wicket. Leeds move on to 70 for 2. Our knock should have put the game out of sight. Hopefully the other 8 can get 26 runs as Oliver Jones comes in. A good knock and a flamboyant innings. We really scored quickly and hit some nice boundaries, and we're starting to hit more shots off the middle of the bat as the 2 lads at the crease have made it to the end. Leeds win a game, and we've been an integral part of that, but it would have been nice to finish the game off. Another defensive edge off the left-hand spinner, and it's something that's starting to concern us. Anything defensive outside off stump is really causing us trouble off the spin bowling. There's the final scorecard then. Leeds win by 8 wickets. Oscar O'Keefe, of course, the player of the match. He got over 150 in the first innings. A brilliant knock which turned out to be match winning, but we put on our fair share in the second knock. A good game for us with 2 decent scores. Our average well above 30 now, and we were economical with the ball again. We didn't get too many overs, which was nice, and we'll go back to our career hub to see what that means. Have we upgraded at all in the batting? We'll be back in a moment to find out. There's the confirmation then. We're very close to levelling up in many categories. We got a few bits of batting ability points there. A 148 bonus, which is nice. 1 bonus on the fielding side. Is that just because our AI version took a catch when simulating? I'm not quite sure, as I haven't noticed it before. We've scored 300 runs to meet our objective at the bottom, and our economy seems to have got us lots of bowling ability points, something that's a little unrealistic at this stage. We've got no batting ability points just yet, but look how close we are to the next level. So we're going to level up in a moment, and then we'll start improving our attributes. We can unlock a few more things now as well, so that's certainly going to help us moving forward. It's one of the biggest changes from the old Don Bradman cricket games, and it is one of my favourite ones, to be honest. You used to be able to develop so quickly in that, particularly in the early stages at club and county cricket. This one makes it a bit more realistic, as it just leaves you holding back for a year or two. Our shirt name's changed to England now. I remember at the start of the series it said Australia, and that was a little bit concerning for the Englishman. Why it doesn't say Leeds I don't know, but England's at least a little bit closer, as it's the country we're hoping to represent. We'll go and set these and then go through to Career Hub to make our plan of when we'll be back for the next episode. So we've upgraded our drive. Let's see when we're going to be back next. We've got a 50 over game coming up. We obviously showed you the thrilling end of one last time out, as we narrowly missed out on our first career century. Unless we get into a major milestone moment like that again, we will try and skip through that one, and perhaps show you the next 50 over game afterwards, or maybe one of the T20s coming up in the future. So I'm not quite sure which game it'll be yet. We're so early in our career that there could be milestones at any point. We could be on for our first 5 wicket haul. We could well be on for our first century, and we could be in a game like we were just now, where we're trying to bat down and chase a total. So plenty of opportunities to come back, and we'll obviously pick the most interesting one, but as we go on our long-term path to emulate Alistair Cook, we want to try and replicate him as well as possible. So succeeding in a long form is crucial, but of course we want to show the excitement of the short form game too. But if you did enjoy this episode and that pretty aggressive knock early on, please do put a thumbs up on the video. As I mentioned during the innings, let me know your thoughts down below. We seem to be getting bowled the same ball quite often, and it meant that we were playing similar shots, and they weren't plugging the gap to our favourite zones, and that really was confusing me as the innings went on. Is it anything that you've seen while playing your career? I didn't notice it too much in the first season, and I didn't notice it when we were playing the Ashes Test playthrough, so is it maybe just at club level? The bowlers aren't quite as good, and as a result they don't learn as quickly, and continue to give us deliveries we thrive on. Maybe that's the case, and I'm being a bit harsh, so we'll wait and see as we progress to county level. I'll just finish on the selection status screen, just so I can show you that we're now a long way off. We're not anywhere close in the T20 slam. A little bit strange really, considering that's the one form we've been consistent in. With the bat we got 350s last year, but I'd much rather make it in the county championship. So hopefully that could be on the cards by the end of the season, but I think that might just be a bit too soon. Subscribe to the channel for 3 episodes a week from this Cricket 19 career, every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday at midday. A massive thank you to everyone that's been supporting the series so far, as well as our Ashes Test playthrough beforehand. I really have been blown away by how many of you have interacted with it, and I can't thank you enough for giving it a try. There's also daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, both at pretty interesting points at the moment, and we'll be moving on to Football Manager 2020 soon. We've got our plans laid out for that one, and we'll be announcing those on the channel soon. And then finally our weekly Snooker 19 career continues. That's every Friday at 4:30. We're moving towards the end of the year and the World Championships, the highlight of the snooker calendar. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support with the series. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another important episode as we look to push on towards our county selection.